And the top right here, this is Liquid TLO. And in the bottom left, this is Roots. Or not Roots, Exxon's Nina. My bad. Excuse me. I'm just used to Nina being on route. It's an old habit. Gotta break it. Alrighty. So ZVP on Ice and Chrome, nice big map. Generally the kind of maps that Zergs like to play on, but the jury's out on this one for me in ZVP. I know how Terrans feel on it. They're definitely they're not a super huge fan of playing TVZ on this one. But Protosses against Zerg, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them just yet. I mean, there have been quite a few at the ANZ Challenger, or not Challenger, but the ANZ Champs. It's been on ESL_StarCraft on Twitch TV, which you guys should check out. Some pretty great StarCraft games from my part of the world.
Indeed, man. Thank you for holding down the fort.
Right.
New map though. You know, this map's Imba, this map's Imba, this map's Imba. A month later, oh no, that map's great for my race. It's always kind of the way it is, right? Takes a few weeks at least for people to really figure things out. The thing that seems broken, first time you see it, often once you've played against it a few times, it's like, oh no, you just see it, you respond with this, it's okay. But yeah, as you said, this map quite big. Once you go to your 5th and your 6th base, you do get very spread. You know, your first 4 bases are quite defensible. I would say the bottom right, the top left corners of the map where the watchtowers are these kind of just bizarre, crazy areas where it's so far distant from everything else on the map. If you want to work your way down there, it's really a massive detour. So if anyone gets caught with their whole army down there, sometimes in a base trade starts, they're usually like really slow to actually get into the opponent's production and stuff. So as nice as the angle can be on these edge bases, if it goes to that stage, we'll have to keep our eyes open. And what's this drone doing, Maynard?
Well, this looks like it might be a proxy hatchery pig. But to what end? It's just a
wait. It's just a scout that can get in pre. Oh my god! It's because the Zerglings always block. So, think about Nina. Nina doesn't scout very much, but Nina will obsessively block your scout. And you know what? Doesn't see the Stargate. Oh, that's so frustrating for TLO.
Yeah.
She does do Stargate obsessively though. Nina's very predictable. She's one of the best micro-oriented, flexible players. She swaps strategies at a whim. She'll micro you into the tilt zone, you know. She'll make you really frustrated. The problem she has is, like I said, a lack of scouting in the early game. She just sees hatch first, goes home, checks nothing else. So she's very vulnerable to all-ins, and she's very, very high percentage of her games are Stargate, Oracle, no crazy all-in. Because of that, she's predictably not going to all-in you with a super sharp attack. She will never cannon rush, and she also won't scout that much. So she relies on this sort of stuff, doing some damage with some adepts. Already 3 drones, not a bad start.
No, not bad at all. You can get 4 drones or so with the adepts. That's usually pretty worth. The other one does survive for now. TLO hasn't got link speed just yet, so we can't really punish. And yeah, and TLO's Overlord confirms Stargate, by the way. It's on the edge of that main base.
And just to kind of preface what TLO is going to be thinking about going into this series, you're always expecting a push to cancel your 4th base. And that's one of the real points that Nina, just as a standard thing, will always contest. She does not want to let Zerg get a 4th. Good micro on these queens. But she does save it. So yeah, so basically, yeah, she likes to macro up, but there'll always be some sort of like Sentry Immortal. I'm going to push forward, and if you're trying to be a bit, like, you don't get a free pass to the late game, is what I'm trying to say. She's going to keep harassing, and there's layers of, like, she's always attacking, macroing behind it, attacking, macroing behind it, rotating around. Her Prism usage, her Zealot harass, some of the best in the game, so see what she can get done. So far, the anti-air harass is amazing. The defense here for TLO, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 2 Oracles and a Phoenix, and then straight into Robo play, usually with this kind of build from the Protoss that Nina and a lot of other Protosses do like to do. It's the most standard of standards, the Stargate opener. You're very, very safe. You have the ability to scout with all your Stargate units as well. You can harass if you're lucky. TLO, unfortunately, making it not able for Nina to find too many drone kills. And yeah, it's looking like this game is pretty passive for now. There's that 4th base that you were talking about earlier that Nina's going to try and get a cancel on.
It's really early as well. TLO's going double Evo Bane Nest, so There's no Roach Warren. So that's the kind of weird thing here, where I would expect you to have the ability to build a few Ravagers, because we're seeing Massling Bane. Where range starts. Oh, it's going to be high. Oh, it is going to be just straight Hydra Bane here for TLO. Okay.
No, he cancelled the range. Put on the Carapace instead.
Oh, okay. So it's Massling Bane. Do you remember early Legacy when like Dark would do this and then he'd be like 9-minute Broodlords? This is like like start of Legacy. Like I wonder if that's an option here.
I wonder. It's a bit of a trip down memory lane. Well,
just like, yeah, Ling Bane straight up the tech tree. Oh, this Adept's getting ready to really be annoying here. And Oracle's just looking to snipe the creep a little bit.
I mean, there's better at creep now with the patch. A little bit.
Yeah. Revelation's also cheaper as well. You can cast it twice as much. So Revelation, for those who don't know, half the energy cost and a little less than half the duration. It's only a 15-second map hack now, which is... I really enjoy it. I feel like if the Protoss is constantly coming in, tagging my units, okay, maybe you've earned it, but I used to get really frustrated with just how much vision they got from that. And for now, Nina, she's up on 64 workers, but 76 drones for TLO. And this game is really going to a very interesting place where I feel like TLO's economic buildup has been so good. That push on the 4th I was talking about, I don't know if that's really going to be a possibility here. I think Nina may have to play a lot more defensive.
No, you're absolutely right. Certainly the Hive is just on the horizon here for TLO with the Spire finishing up. The Phoenix at the top of the map actually scouted the Spire as well for Nina, but she's not sort of expecting like a big switch in air units. She's actually making the correct read, all things considered.
3 workers do go down. Nina will grab a 4th worker, but the Adepts are now
4
gone.
Adepts.
Yeah, not a great trade, but you know, they're Adepts, they're early game units, right? Just trading them out, seeing what you can get. Storm is now on the way, still no 4th base here. I mean, it's 7 minutes 30. Do you really expect a 4th? Normally, no, but I feel like TLO is just like unstoppable position. +2 melee, +1 range, 2 infestors, a hive. How do you get a 4th base? It feels like TLO's just building on his advantages, and I think Nina... she's going to struggle to get up that army and especially to get that big economy. This 4th base is going to be denied for a long time.
And the State Sword actually grabs the Banelings as well, so TLO not finding any angle. At the north side, he does have a Ling run by, but there's still that gateway wall in, so you can't just shift-click Lings into that mineral line like you normally would. It's a very easy place to plug a Ling run by for Protoss in this map.
Oh my god, TLO might just go again. This is like crazy TLO attacks. I would never think to attack right now. We're going Hive Infestors 2-2, but... he looks like he just wants to deny the 4th. And if he can take out the High Templar while they're in low numbers gathering energy, if he can take out these sentries kind of early on before the big battles happen, and that's one of the things you can do as a Zerg to take down a Protoss. It's like, all right, I want there to be lots of small skirmishes, wear you down. I don't want to just run into 8 Archons and a billion Storms.
Speaking of, like, if there were 8 Archons, TLO's army is just completely flaccid. It's just Lings for the most part. There's a handful of Banes.
It's
There's
the base,
so many Lings.
Base trade chunky army, but yeah, definitely not going to be nearly as effective there. So Greater Spire on the way. It's quick broods. Also lots of queen production. So we're going to see queens joining up for mass transfuse with this push. Already 2 infestors gathering energy. TLO's kill move is mapped out so far ahead of time. You can tell he knew this was his plan before the game even started. And Nina, she's trying to go Blink, so it's going to be like dealing with Broodlords with a mixture of Storm, Archons, and Blink. Is that going to be enough? I don't know. These fights, like you said, fragile army for TLO, but Ling Bane's crazy high damage as well. Broodlords with +2 melee are going to be incredible.
Nina had a Prism go to the main base of TLO, but intercepted thanks to that Corruptor army. And the Overlord gave him a little bit of early warning there, so... not finding any damage as Nina. The Zerg side of the map has been untouched since the start of that game. So those last 4 Adepts shaded into that 3rd base. It's really been old TLO on this side, and that's usually pretty good for Zerg. Dina is amassing an army. She's getting her upgrades. Blink, like you mentioned, is technically a response to be able to deal with Broodlords, but specifically more of an anti-Roach thing, anti-Roach Ravager thing.
Yeah, it's like Blink is amazing for dealing with small numbers of unsupported Broodlords or that don't have a lot of support, right? You add a whole pack of +2 Cracklings, like, oh my god. +3 is on the way. Zergling drop going towards the main here. TLO always loves Zergling drops up every matchup. This is so cheap. You look at this, you're like, oh, good response, shut down by Nina. She's weird. It's like, no, that costs him nothing. Like, this is so cheap for TLO.
Yeah, the most expensive thing is probably the gash that you need to use to morph the Dropper Lord. TLO still has map control here. Nina moving out by the looks of things. Maybe to marry up with +2 attack and another Archon or two. This
Fungal's going to be deadly.
But yeah, the Fungals, and also it looks like Broods are going to be finished. Oh, they are finished. Excuse me. There's already like 6 of them. 8 of them. Wow.
9th on the way as well. It's with +3 melee and no armor upgrades. Like if you've got double forge, you got a big economy, 16 gateways, you got a bit of momentum. I don't mind your position as the Protoss, but with no armor upgrades, with +3 melee halfway done, like everything's gonna melt to the Broodlord Zergling Baneling. You've got no sustainability. You need 6 storms. You need great micro, and oh my lord!
Oh, he tried to go for the High Templar there. Good feedbacks from Nina. All right, the High Templar will survive for now, but again, the Broodlords are just a problem for her. You can see that she's already starting
She's kind of trapped.
Yeah.
Oh.
A little bit.
Oh. Already one Broodlord is falling. Second Broodlord just barely gets out of there. Mass Transfuse goes down. Good storms, though. If there's one thing Nina's an expert at, it's baiting Zerg players' ground units into storms. You know, she goes for the Broodlords, makes you want to come forward, and she wants the Lingbane to walk through the storm. She can do one of the best fighting retreats in the game. The problem is the Broodlord range is so high.
Holy crap. And these Corruptors, I think, may be coming forward to try and look for the War Prism, or just trying to catch those Phoenixes, potentially. Trying to keep those Broodlords alive. Lots of transfusion energy on these Queens.
Yeah.
And TLO even canceling some of those Broodlords to make sure he has an anti-air army with those Queens and Broods just raining free units from above. One of those High Templar nearly nibbled in the butt and killed, but it does survive. Nina's just lost all her splash damage, unfortunately, apart from these Archons.
Yeah, she's starting a few Tempests now. I'm not the biggest fan of the Tempest. I think a couple of them to pick off Broodlords from afar is great, but when you're so broke like Nina is, it's like, yeah, you're just starting a 5th base, but you really don't have much going on. And it looks like even that 5th might get cancelled, but TLO with a little bit of a pullback on that Zergling run by. Just can actually go for the north side. But look at the wall-offs. I mean, Nina is locked down against run-bys.
Yeah. And even the Stasis Ward expires, it feels like you have so much time to deal with a Ling run by with this kind of infrastructure setup. Oh, he actually gets through all these Stasis Wards without triggering them there, but a good warp in from Nina. It's going to plug the hole at least for now.
5th base goes down on the bottom. And, oh my god, +3 Adrenal Zerglings. Oh my lord.
Yeah, well, there are some +2 Zealots in the main base here. They've gotten the Infestation Spit, and they're actually about to get the Greatest Fire as well. So those are some nice big odds for sure for Nina.
Yeah, and you know what? She recalls some Stalkers. She'll lose a few Stalkers, a couple probes. Oh my god, the damage of +3 Adrenal Zerglings! Oh my god. PCP Zerglings, man.
Yeah, they got the dust under their noses.
Yeah.
Bloodshot eyes.
It's like the Terminator 1 scene in the police station, man. Those Zerglings are Arnold Schwarzenegger, and those probes are very, very afraid, you know, people seeing the power of a crackling that does not feel pain.
Yeah, they're just like, well, it isn't necessarily a robot from the future. I've seen people lift cars with PCP. And like,
yeah. It's to either save a dying child or PvP. It's like one or the other is the thing that just gives you superhuman strength, right? Both real, I'm sure. Zergling's finally going to open these rocks on the top left. That'll be nice. Open up another avenue. TLO definitely got a scary army here. 11 Broods, 15 Corruptors. No Infestors anymore. He's building 2 Vipers, but a while till they have any energy. And we've got 4 Tempests with 2 more on the way. This is one of the most fragile armies in the game. If anyone can do it, it's Nina. She's got great micro. But usually I look at this army and I go, can we please not build any more Tempests? They're really not great units. Yeah, if you shift-click the Broodlords quick enough, they're great. The problem is, one moment with them overextended, these Corruptors will snap those Tempests out of the sky so fast. They're such fragile capital ships.
The Banelings of TLO as well as the Corruptor P busting over the wall in that 3rd Nexus. It's now quite open for TLO's run-bys. And meanwhile, Nina was pressuring. There we go. I need to eat at some point. Nina was pressuring TLO there with that army. But he left the expensive, important units back at home. That was just Lings and Banes there. Some of the Corruptors, of course, peeing on those rocks, but then came back home. Gets the
nice.
Oracle that needs no tags for these Tempests.
Accidental Storm on the own army there as well. Obviously trying to zone out the Banelings, but good movements here by TLO. I do want TLO to finish the game, though. I think he's been ahead for a long time. I think Nina's one of the hardest players to finish. She'll hang in there and really make you work for it. And if you get complacent, you can lose. But I think TLO should really press his advantage soon.
Yeah, she does normally hold up brackets, bless her socks. Like, she likes to play the longer game. She likes to stick around.
Yeah. The thing is, she makes them close, you know. That she's going to keep digging for these run-bys. She's not going to get one-directional, one-dimensional, you know. She won't just A-move her army and die. She's a micro player. That is her specialty, so... Just going to rotate back around the left. I love this sort of army where you add a few Archons in with the Zealots. When the +3 Adrenal kicks in, it's the only way to deal with it. Otherwise, you send 6 or 7 Zealots. 20 Zerglings actually beat that at this point in the game. And you know what? Armor upgrades have never come down for Nina. I think if you're at this point of the game, you really need to be getting a second Forge, and you need to be continuing Plasma Shield upgrades, armor upgrades. The problem that happens is this Protoss army just ends up so fragile. And even with +2 ship weapons on the way, like, that doesn't really matter. +1 is all you need to make sure you can 5-shot a Broodlord with Tempests. And, oh,
ooh, Storm's in the Corruptors there. Nearly kills Tempest, not quite. Bailey's coming forward, getting rid of that the static defense structure's dead, but Nina's counterattack at the top of the map here. 12 o'clock was a lot more deadly. That's a dead hatchery for sure.
Yeah. Having to morph more Banelings to deal with this. Banelings are not a cost-efficient unit. Already, Nina's been a little more efficient in this game. She's maxed out right now. I really want to see her continue to work on those upgrades. I understand she's been broke for a long time. TLO's had the economic advantage, but if you don't get those upgrades working on the Forge, you know, +3 attack's nice. You need sustainability, and you need the ability to survive even just a few seconds longer. TLO's on 3-3. He's adding flyer upgrades. I do think he's in the lead in this game.
Oh, cat.
You know it's on the keyboard, right? It's got to be. Every friggin' time. It's one way to get a cat to really want a cuddle, want a pat. It's to ignore it and play video games. And the more intense and focused you are on the video game, the more eager that cat is to jump on the keyboard. And yeah, there's a reason I'm a bit more of a dog guy, personally.
And there are some dogs that'll jump on your lap. The smaller ones. My dog is a bit of a jumper himself, but he won't do it if I'm on a computer chair. On the couch, though, sometimes. Or but it's a bit of a weak one.
Welcome to Stormtown, TLO. Big parasitic bombs. The Corruptors will take out the Tempests, but oh my god, those storms were good. Is it enough, though? +3 Adrenal Zerglings come in. The last 50 Zerglings, after everything else got blitzed by Storm, eradicate Nina's army.
Nina's got a counterattack here with it's got 4 Archons in it, quite a few Stalkers, some Zealots as well. It's nasty. It is killing hatcheries. TLO is technically only on 3 bases at the moment because of it. But can Nina actually stop the advance of these Broodlords and Corruptors is the biggest question, I feel.
The Archon Zealot on the top does start to work its way back. TLO's income is poopy right now. It's quite weak. He's building a few Mutalisks. So, I mean, this is only TLO would even think about Mutalisks at this stage of the game. I'm like, what? There's Archon, Stalker, Zealot counterattack, and a pack of Broodlords in the middle. They're using the terrain nicely, but they are very vulnerable.
Yeah, quite true. This is the one situation where those Blink Stalkers with their attack upgrades start to actually look all right against the Broods, as long as they can get underneath them. I
think Nina could win this.
Making mutas. Is this deliberate?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I don't think it's the right call, though. I actually think Nina's worn him down. I feel like he's been ahead of game. And I tell you, she's so hard to finish, man. She does this. She hangs on. She falls back. She counterattacks. She backstabs. TLO doesn't have an income right now. She's retaking a Nexus on the top. She's still got a little bit of money coming in. TLO's going to start coming back. The Observer spots some of it. Oh, she's got to get out of here. She's getting trapped in a corner. I kind of wish she went north there. The Broodlords, actually, I think they maybe could have cornered her, but obviously TLO a bit nervous. He's got to get over the dead space right now. He's way too in the open. TLO's got to be careful. She can jump on him.
Yeah, she might in a second here, seeing that those Broodlords are alone, but she just relies on the Storms, and that's not good for Nina. She's going to lose these High Templar on the back here, and the Archon.
That was way too ballsy from TLO. She could have jumped on that and killed most of those Broodlords. It's just she was kind of surprised by seeing those Broods. She assumed there was more behind it. And a little bit of a missed opportunity there. More Muta Corruptor coming in here for TLO. I do not understand what the Mutas are for. We're going to have to do a post-game breakdown because I'm sure they serve a function. I just don't know exactly what it is.
Well, they shoot down and they're fast. But yeah, I mean, the Broodlord kind of feels... The Broodlord Corruptor kind of feels both those needs, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, the Mutas are just the easiest way to get a fighting unit on the map, right? As you said, it's the Zergling of the skies. Quick reinforcement. It does damage. Can get in there. It's going to try to focus down the Stargates. and stop these Phoenix getting out. There's already 5 Phoenix on the map, though, so I don't know. I feel like these Phoenix here are already being microed by Nina. 1 Phoenix there, a bunch more come down, but it's got to avoid fighting the Corruptors.
Oh, the Broodlords are just so painfully slow, though. All this time that TLO needs to spend getting those Broodlords from one side of the map to the other is just more time that Nina has to just do more and more damage. And she's got recall in the chamber again now. She didn't have that recall available when she was stuck in the bottom right, where it looked like she was stuck, but now she does. So
she's got to pull back.
Painless for Nina.
She's doing good. Loses 1 Stalker, but it gets an Overseer. Clears up a lot of the creep. There's still a few tumors on the very far north, and of course TLO is still spreading them at a moment like this. Because he's TLO and he focuses on those details, and because of that, he's getting Vipers now as well. He's got this real eye to detail. Is it enough? Nina's got a base up on the north. She's got equal probe count. If she can get this gas mining back up on this base in the bottom that's rebuilding as well, she can still make a lot of Archons, a lot of Storm. And it looks like they're both going to get 1 more Remax. And it's once again going to be a clash of that similar army that we saw earlier in the game.
Well, looks like it. Ah, man. TLO's main mining is just down here as well, by the way. The 28 drones on top of that 1 hatchery. He's so desperate for minerals at the moment. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why he's getting Vipers. It's one of the few things that he can afford. Because he's got a lot of gas, not many minerals. But yeah, gone is the moment of TLO having a giant bank with Nina being broke as a joke. They're both kind of strapped for cash at the moment, running on gas fumes.
Where's the Baneling count going to come from? I said a similar army at max. Is it, though? This time there's going to be 12 Mutas, 12 Corruptors. There's only 2 Tempests, and there's actually, what, 10 Phoenix out right now? I really wish Nina would swap into Pure Ground. I actually wish she would focus on Pure Ground, because, I mean, the Phoenixes wreck the Mutas. They don't do good versus anything else, especially against the Corruptors. Now, this run by is looking good for Nina. She's still... Oh, she's going to find Mutas here, though. The Archon's not going to be able to deal with that Muta count.
You do not expect a handful of Mutas at this point in the game. So Magic Box on those Archons, they do go down. The Zealots getting met with Banelings there. They get a few drones. Will they get the hatchery? The answer is nope. Good defense there from TLO. And the Broodlords are still advancing through the middle of the map. They're getting closer and closer to the Protoss' infrastructure.
I feel like if there's a few more Archons and a few more Stalkers, she can take this army. I just don't know if the Phoenix are really going to add anything to this next engagement. She was afraid of a mass Muta swap, the mobility that comes with that. But I do think TLO's kind of tricked her into building too many Phoenix, and I don't think they're going to do much in this next fight, especially Parasitic Bomb in the middle of them could just destroy the Phoenix count.
Not to mention there's just a ball of Corruptors waiting for Nina.
Oh, no. Overcharge on the top, not going to be enough. That Nexus goes down. That's the last bit of Nina's economy. Now she's kind of forced to fight. The Corruptors are still there, though. TLO here, he threatens the push, takes out the front base, snips off the economy on the north. The Zealot run by doing damage at the same time. This game is scrappy as they come.
Yes, indeed. All right, well.
Oh my god.
Up here to the north side. Okay, both players. This is going to be the final fight in this game by the looks of things.
Oh, the Phoenix looking for the Broods. Phoenix looking for the Broods. Oh, they get 1. Just 1. Where are those Vipers at? Oh, they are in there. They're in the Corrupted Blob. Oh man, this is so weird. Nina needs open ground. She needs open ground for like Storm and stuff to work their magic.
Oh, here they do drop their
oh my god.
Here.
I think that's an overextend though from TLO. Gets the Tempests, but is that enough? I don't know, man. I feel like losing all the Mutas is kind of rough, and Nina's low on Storms. The Broodlord's chasing her down. She's going to lose 1 more High Templar. No, it barely does get out of there for it. Now the Phoenixes are still here threatening. The Broodlords are mighty exposed right now. Both sides working with just dregs at this point. 6 Zerglings, 2 Mutas in production. The Phoenix come in. They snap another Broodlord. Well worth it here. Corruptors will take a Phoenix or 2 out in return. Still 1 Tempest trying to add some damage. A Corruptor falls. Every unit snipe is so valuable. Whoa.
Big couple storms there for Nina. The Corruptors pretty bruised. A couple of them are healthy, but pretty bruised.
She's only got 1 Storm left here. Now the Phoenix doing a good job, and they might actually be able to just beat the Corruptors. There's no other anti-air here, Maynard. I think she might have just done it. Nina with +3 Phoenix up against the Corruptors that have 1-1. And I think she can just win this air battle. 1 Viper comes in, 6 energy away from Parasitic Bomb. Holy crap.
What a game, dude. That was one of the more back and forth games I think we've ever cast in one of these weeklies. Like, that was just a nutty performance from both those players who are clearly very closely matched. Good stuff.
Yeah, so if the game goes past a certain point against Nina, this is why I feel demotivated, because like I don't know how to finish her. I cannot finish her. Even when I'm quite ahead, it's so hard. And yeah, that was awesome. Awesome play by Nina. Works her way back into that game. Incredible play. And that's only the first game of the series, guys. We got a lot more where that comes from. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I am I am also running on fumes. Not
oh, go get food, man. Once we get in this lobby, go get food, and I'll take over for the first couple minutes, yeah?
All right. And there's nice Namshar happening as well in the semis. Hopefully that's being covered. Oh, we have Namshar and nice waiting.
Okay, cool.
Is it waiting for casters?
I'm still waiting for the lobby to go up.
We can jump to the semi.
I mean, I'm super involved in this series after that game, though, right? So
true, but if they're holding a semi just because they don't have commentators, that's not good.
Well, TLO's got a lobby up. Let me see what we choose to do here.
Okay.
Let me just get my other tab open here so we can monitor my Twitch chat as well as that bracket a little bit.
I'm just typing to the admin here.
Yep. Now let's figure out exactly what we're doing before we TLO doesn't even have Thingo in the lobby yet, so it's all good.
Yeah, no rush. I was just making sure that they weren't like just holding it because the casters were in the round of 8 and they were like, oh, we want to do the semi, but no one's here to commentate it. I'm like, well, just I don't want to slow down slow down anything because of that, so.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
So nice and Namshar, I think, should be able to just go ahead. So that should be all good. Insane series here. We'll be starting it momentarily, guys. We're just getting in. Me, Maynard, everyone's in here. And currently, I am in the player slot, sitting opposite TLO.
Right,
and,
good luck, man.
I can play Protoss. You know, the last time I got to play side by side with Nina was Archon mode tournament. Nina gave me an Oracle. She watched me micro it, and she took the Oracle away from me.
No.
She was like, yeah, no. She was like,
no.
here's an adept or something, and I was like, okay. I got put in the corner, and she tried to 1v2 Huck and MC and almost beat them. It was great. It was great. Nina, of course, one of the best micro players. She's incredibly fast, incredibly good. She's probably live streaming right now over at twitch.tv/NinaSC, I think it is. Oh, Golden gave us a raid before. Thank you, Golden. Much love. Bad luck getting eliminated earlier, dude. GG, well played. Thank you, Steinmart, for the 9-month sub. Slogma with the 100-bit cheer. Silly Dobby earlier with the 100-bit cheer. Thank you, everybody, for the support, of course. We will be getting in, and yeah, we'll see kind of what goes on.
All right. I might lock onto your camera and grab some food in a tick just to try and make it through this broadcast because I'm like super dizzy. I'm like,
do
not
it,
even...
man. Now I grabbed a couple of handfuls of salty nuts and I placed them in my mouth and moved them around before, so I'm feeling a little bit okay.
That's hot.
But maybe the next series I might do the same thing and just grab some food and bring it back in here. Part of what we've got to do to keep things going, especially when these delays kind of drag things on. Pig, my man.
You're the host.
I'm basically Nina. Oh, why would they make me the host? What the hell? I'm the host. I'm the daddy. Call me daddy.
Daddy Krenzel.
Call me daddy. Speak with respect. Are they ready or what?
I'm ready, Daddy, says TLO. Nice. He's picking it up.
TLO's quick onto it. All right. All right, they're ready. Let's do it. I hate being given responsibility, but all right.
Yeah, that was a weird one. But there we go. I feel like you didn't drop the ball, Pig. We got there. You know, the game will continue. The series will continue.
I'm like the
still versus 3, right? So,
I'm the StarCraft caster equivalent of the guy who works in the the synergizing backwards overflow department. People are like, oh yeah, can you take over responsibilities with our Southeast marketing strategy? And I just kind of look at them and go, what? That's outside of that's outside of my job description. I'm not qualified for that. People are like, wait, what do you do here? And I'm like, occasionally talk about the game, mostly just say dumb shit while games happen, and you know, occasionally some stuff. Avoid responsibility completely. Yeah.
Yeah, at all costs, really.
That's me.
All right, now I'm gonna make sure I'm logged on to.
I'm shiveling my camera.
All right, wiggle that Piggly, please.
Yeah, I'm wiggling it.
Okay.
You can control Shift O as well.
On it. Yep, we did it. We did it. Yeah, I did. I was just making sure.
Sweet.
Yep.
Awesome. See you in a minute, man.
Back soon, guys. Sorry, I feel really bad about this. I'm streaming right now, but it's only Pig actually doing something.
No, we take turns doing this. This is the only way we get through the new bracket. See you in a minute, mate.
See you, mate.
All right, guys. We are here. It is game 2, an epic game number 1. TLO really had that one mapped out. Played a great style. Didn't really work out for him in the end, though. Nina, she just dragged her way back into that game. I do think mutas were the wrong choice. Salted almonds, guys. Up here in the top right, it's TLO. Salted dry roasted almonds. Down here in the bottom left, in the blue, representing Exxon, it is Nina. One of North America's finest, hailing from somewhere in the cold bit. I think like North Dakota or something. I think like Minnesota, somewhere. Somewhere around there. The cold bit. You know, has made multiple semi-finals and big premier tournaments in the past and things, and really excels in new balance patches due to her micro-oriented, pressure-oriented nature of her play. And oh my, that's a cheeky probe. Looks like a proxy Stargate, but is it? I don't know. Yeah, looks like it. Second pylon's gonna go down. 100 minerals. Second pylon. No. Okay, cool. It's just it's a cheeky follow-up scout. So she makes it. Okay, so remember I talked about how she doesn't scout guys? Well, guess what? If you don't scout, people all in you a lot. So you might want to hang around, do a cheeky follow-up scout to make sure your opponent doesn't just cheese you out of this game. And TLO, he was a big fan of the rich gas hatchery or even proxy hatch rich gas Ravager rush in the past. I think his Overlord will see this probe, but it's going to be really close. Let's go to TLO's camera here. He's just got vision, but he hasn't noticed. We're on TLO's camera. There we go. Okay, so TLO does see the probe, but the probe has not seen him. So he's going to leave that Overlord just in vision, hoping he sees a proxy start, because of course Nina can't see that. Her vision does not extend. A probe does not have as many eyes as an Overlord. For those who don't know, Overlords have many eyes. There's a lot of them. And they get to perv really well. That's why this one is going to float back to this little pervy pillar. It's a pervert pillar where he can watch from the shadows. You see, he's revealed. He's actually not correctly placed, but that's fine. Behind this, Stargate going up down in the bottom here for Nina. Adept on the way, second adept as well. Non-stop probes. Of course, Link Speed is almost finished and has just now put workers back on that gas. So TLO with a very typical opening. 8 Zerglings coming out just for a little bit of map pressure, and also, sees the pylon. This is so good for TLO, the way he just kept this Overlord out, and there's even a gateway. But he's just going to come down there, depower this. Nina, she was planning to just warp in regular adepts there and just keep harassing. What's so good about that is that you could just kind of keep shading up into that third base, but gets found. Nina cancels the gate, loses the probe, loses the pylon, and she's got to change it up a little. She's actually going Phoenix, multiple Phoenix off 1 star. Wow. Oh, is she going to commit? I think she will. Does find the gap in the minerals. Only 1 Zergling able to fight her at a time. She's trying to take down the drones. Does get 1. Just 1 drone. Nothing major. Pylon still going down at the same time. And a Robo goes down behind it. And, you know, she's got to think quick. She's got to pivot here. She can't commit to what she was going to. She's going to take the gases on the natural. She's still building Phoenix. I believe they're just called Phoenix Pig. She's building Phoenix. I'm like, Jesus. It's going for a Colossus push. I'm just like making things up. Anyways, Spore Crawler, another one up in the natural, another one there. So the spores have been built at like a safe timing for oracles. but it's actually just Phoenix. Much lighter pressure than Oracles, more flexible, but also not as good at defending ground-based counterattacks. So this is an awkward spot for Nina, guys. There's still no Twilight Council, no third Nexus. I'm not envious of her position. It feels like she doesn't have a lot of bite, and it almost, if TLO gets a little bit greedy, I think he just easily gets away with it. Right now, though, he doesn't know what the follow-up is, and he's playing very safe. Lots of Zerglings, a Baneling Nest on the way. I think him playing safe plays into her hand, but you know what? With this many Zerglings coming out, safe can very easily turn into aggression. Nina, one of the big problems she has is she likes to leave her units sitting out in the open at the third base rather than in the choke point, which allows people to kill her units. Now, sometimes this baits people in, but without the Oracles to cover them, that can backfire really quickly. Oh, that's a lot of Banes. That's a lot of Banes. It's a 50 Droneling Bane. This is exactly what Dark likes to do. It's a crazy attack. There's an Immortal in the wall. Gateway's going up. Does Nina know about this? Maybe she spotted it? Oh, that's a lot of Banes, guys. I mean, the natural is safe. And losing, as long as you don't lose the actual Nexus, even if you lose all these units, it's okay. Oh my gosh, Force Fields at the last minute. That trigger discipline on the Force Field's insane. She holds on to the last moment. TLO's making more Banes, but there's Phoenix here. Just pick up those Banes as they finish. More Zealots and Adepts need to warp in. Units are going to come up from the natural wall here. Big Zergling attempt. And, oh, she's picking up her sentries right now, trying to protect them. The Banelings finally find the mark. But so much has been invested in this. A sentry, an Immortal, a second Immortal. These all survive. TLO's got a nice drone count behind us. But that was not free. That was a big Zerg investment, and it did not find the mark.
Hello.
Heyo.
Hello, I have returned with peanut butter toast.
Oh, the best. Dude, I haven't had peanut butter for ages. I actually ran out of peanut butter, and I keep waiting for it to go half price. And I think since ISO, people buy lots of peanut butter because they're never putting it on half price anymore. And I'm like, man, I should just buy some peanut butter. Peanut butter, though, to be honest, is one of the foods that I have eaten probably like 17 truckloads of in my, probably more than that in my life. Like, I've eaten a city of peanut butter. Like, if you made a sandcastle, it would extend to like the entire block of houses that I live on. There is a lot of peanut butter that I have ingested in my lifetime.
My goodness.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it.
With my single sandwich.
Yeah. There better be at least 1.5 centimeters of peanut butter on that, mate.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I don't want it to be peanut butter flavored bread. I want it to be, like, peanut butter with bread, you know? The bread is the side here. The peanut butter is the main course. The
way it should be, man. Are you a connoisseur of the spoon? The spoon peanut butter?
No, I actually use the knife.
Oh, yeah. But, like, I mean, do you just eat it out of the jar kind of thing?
Oh, I have before when desperate to have something to eat, yes. But not for, like, years, actually. Like, a long time. Maybe when I was living alone.
I eat that, like, all the time. That's, like, a daily snack for
really?
me. I just, like, stick a spoon into the peanut butter and just, yeah.
My goodness.
Anyways, so this was a weird opening from Nina. Her proxy gateway got caught. And so she's kind of playing from a bit of a suboptimal position, but TLO went for the big dark bust, the 50 Droneling Bane bust on the third. Did not really do anything except kill some of her units and slow down her probing. And it's like, oh yeah, cool, slowed her down, slowed everything down. All it did was kind of drag the whole game backwards a little bit. And he droned behind it well, but you know, I'm not sure. He's going Hydra Bane, he's got good creep spread, like it looks like TLO's a little ahead here. But she's going Colossus, and Nina's got the 4th started. If she can establish that 4th uninterrupted, you know, she's going to close the gap to 200 supply reasonably quickly. And it seems like we're going to see a Hydra Bane into Broodlord game. So Broodlord's once again going to be on the ticket. I just think this time around, the Hydras are going to be a little bit more sustainable support for those Broodlords.
Yeah, I like the Brood a lot more, rather the Hydra a lot more than just Ling Bane under a Broodlords. You know, for me, the best is just having a good ball of Roach Ravager that is very, like, gas intensive, I suppose, or Lurkers. Like, Lurkers are insane.
the Ground Annihilator.
The Annihilator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lurker Broodlord is just the most insane. Now, okay, yeah, going for a bust on his 16 Hydras. Already has range. Muscular Organ's kicking in. Ooh, gonna go for those shield batteries. Force fields always at the last second. She loves to let Zerg players come in way too deep. And you know what? That wall on the left is actually safe. I don't think she needed the Stalker one. And the force fields are so good. These Banelings are finding nothing. TLO's got to get out of there.
Line here. Look at that perfect line of force fields on that 4th base. Yeah,
Oh.
Nina likes to wait for the last second to make those force fields because it's much more important to give your opponent hope and then take it away from them.
Yeah. It means you overextend, you're taking that splash damage every time. You always think, oh my god, she's screwed up, she's not watching. And then they always like push the Banelings back as they're about to connect with the unit. And you're like, oh my god. So often she actually uses it to like body block, directly shove the units back. And she does it there again. 2 Colossus, third one on the way. Templar Archives on the way behind this. A few Archons being added into the mix would be amazing. Guess what? That trade for TLO, if he got the 4th, amazing. But guess what? Didn't get it. Now his Greatest Buyer's finishing, and he doesn't feel safe to build Corruptors. He can't make those Broodlords. He's kind of stuck fighting with Hydra Bane. However, Vipers have got energy. If he can abduct the Colossus, this changes everything.
Yeah, the Colossus are the only thing scary here to the Lingbane Hydra. Force feels pretty decent from Nina, but yoink, the other one goes down as well. There's a third one in the back of the mix there, thinning up the Lingbane count.
The Archons aren't here yet. There's just not enough tankiness in this Protoss ball, and yeah, I mean, Nina, I told you she's the master of the fighting retreat. I don't know if this is going to be enough, though. That's so many units here. She's blinking back. The Colossus will 100% go down, and now you are on 17 Blinkstalkers, 4 Phoenix, and a War Prism. It's a micro-focused army, but it does not have a lot of damage output.
Yeah, it is too true, and it doesn't have a whole lot of standing and fighting power, especially on creep, I feel, which is giving, and TLO knows that more than anyone else. He's one of the smartest people alive, so he's just going to use this to his advantage, get the composition that he needs to make the next fight look even more one-sided. It's brood time, baby. 5 of them getting morphed here by that Rich Vespine hatch.
Yeah, Charge, Storm, and +2 starting at the same time. Broodlord starting morphing. This is a rough position for Nina. That's awkward, man.
Yeah, she's got these Phoenixes patrolling out here just to give her as much time as possible to react to a battle. You know, those force fields that she was relying on so heavily earlier. No force fields anymore.
An Immortal and a Colossus will be added in. The Zergling run by is ready to deny an attempt for a 6th base. 5th base going up, though. Charge on the way. 3 more gateways coming down. It's going to bring her up to a grand total of 11 gateway production. She's still going to have those explosive storms that we know and love, but she's a long way away from getting the energy for a 2nd storm. This is not that much storms. It's going to be 6 storms in total, and that's it for a long time.
The Ling run by, sorry, I was still chewing. The Ling run by doesn't get the cancel on that Nexus, but the real story here is this Broodlord advance and the fact that it has Hydras underneath it.
Whoa!
Wow.
Goodbye, 3 broods.
Immediately.
Almost out of storms, though. That's the problem. The next wave, Nina's not as ready for it. Ooh, Hydra Bane eating big storms there. Nicely done there by Nina. Is TLO getting overeager? Blinding Cloud's going down, trying to keep these alive. The Banes, the Hydra's doing damage. Those Broodlords do get pushed back, but you know what? A lot of them survive. There's still going to be 1 more blink left in this army, but I think the Transfuse Hydra might just barely be enough.
Oh, the Prism, I think, might have got an F2 there from Nina. It came back from the north side of the map, ran right into the battle and then eliminated by Hydras there. The Broodlord count, by the way, has been thinned out to something more manageable for Nina.
Whoa!
Another one there, maybe a 2nd. Oh, wow, and a Viper? Yes, please.
Goodbye, Broodlords. Pushes TLO back behind the grass. Losing those Broodlords, a big kick. And Nina here, she's got the 5th going down. Well done by TLO. If he didn't get that 5th base, we'd be looking at yet another resurrection. You know, I'm really starting to look at Nina right now as just the coffin-punching Kill Bill character, right? She's 6 feet under, and she's just going to, through sheer micro and determination, punch her way out of that grave.
The 1-inch punch out of the grave, and then you climb all the way up into the surface somehow, some way.
Superhuman powers, Maynard. That's the only explanation we can give right now. There's no storm left. The energy just isn't quite there. It kicks over now, but it's a little bit too late. Already having to take a lot of these Banelings. Good Stalker spready, but there's a lot of Hydras behind it, and Banelings in the mineral line.
Yeah, the Banelings getting some decent connections. Those High Templar getting picked off as well, and the Hydra goes a little bit too high. Here comes the Colossi, but the Viper returns with enough for it to duck. Yoink!
Yoinky, yoinky. Stalkers do come forward. I mean, these shield batteries, this staggered defense, I'm telling you, no one else would hang on. I mean, she loses that 4th. She's rebuilding her 5th on the bottom. The fact that she's alive at all is just a testament to her durability as a Protoss player. These fights are some of the most uncomfortable thing to micro as a Protoss, because you're prioritizing such fine-tuned micro. You blink forward into Broodlords, you overextend for a moment, everything's dead. These Banelings find your High Templar, or even a clump of Stalkers, you're dead. There's so many things that if you make a slight mistake, you just lose the game. But Nina, she calmly micros her way through that scenario, and she forces TLO to the next step.
Dude, when I think about tenacity, I think about players like Bly, I think about the boy Fantasy from back in the day before he retired, and of course Nina's on that list as well. Just players that just do not give up, because they've had too many occasions where they have fought through the, oh shit, I'm losing part, and actually brought a win out of it. Like game 1 is an example of that. Literally the last game, Nina was on the ropes, absolutely in every single way, but through just sheer determination, tenacity, and just making good decisions one after another, managed to clinch the win.
She micros her way out of scenarios as well. Like just the Blink Stalker control is exceptional, and it's also the scrappy control, because she embraces hardship in this matchup more than any other, right? She just kind of goes, oh yeah, that looks like an impossible engage, where most Protoss players go like, toss their hands in the air. She will spread the High Templar. Like she's like, well, I can't stop the Banelings connecting, so I'm gonna spread them like they're Marines. Blink forward and focus fire Broods, and at the same time my Colossus are gonna like spread out against this Hydra Concave, and you're like, just there's a level of managing so many different aspects of a fight that she does a lot better than almost any other Protoss player.
Observer here, showing that the Zerg army is positioning itself. Whoa. The Broods have returned. They come back in bigger numbers. The Viper is here with another Abduct available as well. Just the one Abduct, but there are 3 Colossi. So.
She's got Storms, though. She's got 18 Stalkers, 3 Colossus, 2 Archons. So the Broodlings only have +1 melee. This time around, TLO was committing so much to these attacks, he wasn't continuing the upgrades. These aren't the +3 attack, you know, Broodlings from that previous game. These ones will not kill these units as fast. And, I mean, his creep spread is dominant. That's what I think still gives him such a great forward position here. He's got a spine he's just brought to the front. Because TLO, you know, tiny details are what he cares about in this game. And that's suddenly such a scary army. There's a lot of Hydras. There's not that many Banes anymore. Nina, she's getting a maxed out army, and she's going to look for a good fight. I don't know if she'll be able to pull it off, but just the number of times she recovers, it's insane. I am so impressed. And remember, even if TLO wins this game, he's got to win a 3rd.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is a round of, rather, a best of 3 here in the round of 8. Not quite a semis yet, where it does become best of 5. Nina's army looking extremely powerful. She hasn't been able to get +3 attack. Is something that I would like for Nina to start here, but other than that, she's looking good. She's got an army that absolutely can be TLO's. Yeah. Blinksing picks off a Broodlord there. Might lose the Stalker for it, but that's absolutely worth. Ooh, Colossus gets yoinked, but into what? The Broodlings? Okay, the Broodlings will pick it off.
Baby, no like Colossus. The Broodlings. Nibble, take it down. There's not a lot of Banelings here. The Stalkers are going to just chad their way through this. Baits the Banes in. Not that many Banes, though. So the Storms, they do some stuff, but overall, a good start to the fight here for TLO. He's out of energy. He doesn't have any Blinding Clouds left. He doesn't have a lot of support under these Broods. The Broodlord count is insane, though. There's still 9 Broods here after 3 or 4 have been picked off.
Yeah, and I think Nina didn't expect this many, or didn't realize there was this many until she got up there. A Zealot run by as well over at the higher yield gas base. It's going to get quite a few drones here.
Buys her a moment of breathing room. That's really important. Look, he pulls back on the front. She's got time to get a few more Archons, a bit more Storm energy. I would have loved to see her go around at this point and give up this base, to be honest, because I think she is allowing TLO, with this big thrust of creep, allowing him to kind of set up this staggered pre-spread engage. He's just able to take too many good fights.
He's going to lose the Viper here in a second, but Nina doesn't care about that. She's going for the Broods. Nearly gets it, but it pulls up to the high ground. Nina doesn't have high ground vision anymore. It hasn't got that observer in position.
Whoa.
The target fires it down. A big engagement here.
I don't know if that's going to work out for Nina. The Banelings come forward. One more Storm in the middle would change everything. The Banelings just washing up on those Archons. A lot of Stalkers do make it back. And remember, TLO there, once the Banelings are gone, it's a handful of Hydras. There's only 5 Broodlords left, and Nina warps in again, and she's out for blood. Jumping on those Broodlords. The Blink Stalkers grab another 2.
And TLO's 3 Broodlords going up to 6 right now. Yes, 3 going up to 6, attempting to at least. And now it's 1 going up to 4.
Really working. I mean, the Zergling run by in the main has managed to get in, is starting to clear out. Assimilator's not really doing anything crucial here. Nina's still got the 6th in the bottom. If she can, I mean, she's just beating Broodlords head-to-head with Stalker Colossus. This is the problem with playing Nina. You're not meant to win this fight. TLO's got creep, he's got Hydras, he's got Banes, he's got Broodlords. What else can he do? I mean, I think Infestors are what he's missing that made it look so good in that previous game. And I think, honestly, it was the feedback on them that probably won the game for Nina. It was one of these really kind of underrated moments because we forgot about it and everything else that happened. This game, no Infestors, no ability to lock down the units, and it's Nina's ability. She blinks forward, kills a Broodlord or two, you come forward, she starts stutter stepping back, so you can't quite wrap up the Stalkers with the Lings. They eat Storms, and then she re-engages forward, and she kind of just takes these engagements where it's milliseconds that give her the advantage, and it's working out so well for Nina.
She at least stops that second or third Ling run by there, and she's advancing on a creep again. Having a lot of Zealots in the mix is, useful against the Lings, basically, and also maybe keeping the Broodlings at back to start things off with, but they're not super useful versus, like, Storm, Blink Storm.
Banelings on the bottom, Maynard. If a Mineral Line gets hit, things can crumble rather quickly for Nina here. So I love this move. Oh, no. Nina! Quick reaction. That could have been worse. It was bad, but it could have been worse. She doesn't actually have that many Mineral Lines to mine from right now. A good win there for TLO. A few more of those is going to really pay off in a big way.
Absolutely. Nina, once again, with a pretty expensive run by. Like, a lot of people will just send out charge lots, but she'll send out like a bunch of charge lots with some Archons and Stalkers, which just makes an extremely hard army to stop.
It's such an awkward set of units. You're like, oh, I don't actually have Banelings right now. I need to send all my Hydras and all my Zerglings to deal with this and make Banelings. And you know what? TLO doesn't want to give up the bottom position, so he's kind of just giving up the base. And Nina's like, that's cool. I'll back off. Army in the middle is like, okay, let's start to push some of this creep off the map. Let's like make sure we don't get caught by the Broods, but let's just like push around. Let's threaten. And TLO, after losing that hatch, I think he really feels the need to deny this base of Nina's and at the same time secure this bottom right base. He needs to make sure he's still making work happen, because I feel like over time she's just consistently catching him out of position. 2 Broods and a wall of Spines though, ready on this base. Is it enough to hang on against that many Zealots?
I think no. Now that I look at it.
4 Blinkstalkers take out one of the Broods, man. And the other Broods, taking damage. Archons and Zealots doing a lot. The probes will just evac here. Nina's already got a base up on the top left. I think she's really happy for this trade to happen. She's like, all right, come fight me in the mobile game. Yeah, I'm deep on creep, but look at this. I got a mobile army. Your Broodlords are going to take forever to get back up here.
Yes, indeed. He's carrying TLO from within. And
whoa.
Oh, the Banelings crashing on in. Are the Banes all gone for TLO? Yes, they are. And the Viper's out of juice as well. What does TLO have left? It's basically just the Broodlords.
Oh, nice Ling run by on the north. Does get a bunch of these probes as well, but you know what? She warps in Zealots. I think she can... Oh, she needs more Zealots. She's got to protect those workers.
Yeah, she goes for the recall, in fact, grabbing a few of those units ahead of the pack. Still keeping most of her army out on the map, though. Cycling back towards her bases, but still, like, looking to poke and prod at TLO.
Is he all in now? TLO, I mean, he's got some economy. He's transferring his workers. He's like, God damn, man, I keep getting out positioned. Right now, though, there's no Storm. And that is the weak point of the army. But with no Banelings, I feel like you're never going to get through the Zealots. There's 18 charge Zealots. They're just going to cleanse the Zerglings, the Hydras. They'll tank all the damage on the ground. And I think 15 Stalkers doesn't seem like that many, but it's enough to take on 10 Broodlords when you've got the Archons there as well. So give Nina a bit of time to get more Storm up, and this is going to get really rough. But if you attack now and force the issue, she might well just overwhelm this army. There's not much on the ground for TLO.
She's going to catch some of these Banelings as well to put salt in the wounds for our Zerg friend here. Keep in mind that Nina is on match point right now. If she wins this game, she moves on to the round of 4.
She's the Wizard of Protoss versus Zerg right now, making what seemed to be the impossible happen. Stalkers do find a few Broods. The Stalkers, though, very trapped there. Few of them do go down. I kind of think she can just push her way through. I think she can just waltz over that army. TLO's been spreading his units back. He's always had another layer of Hydras or Banelings further behind to make sure they don't eat the initial storms, right? So Nina just being very respectful. But look at that. Zealots on the south side. She's going to, once again, force him to spread out. TLO's trying to take these bottom bases, but his Broods are looking naked right now. And I think this might just be the moment where she jumps on him.
Yeah, the Broods do have a lot of DPS. They are quite strong. They have +3 attack, etc., etc. But they are, when alone, the Stalkers will generally win fights. Infestors are on the way now for TLO. Potentially a little bit too little too late, though. The army of Nina is still a little bit too much firepower. It's just bigger. Storm has returned again as well. The Archon count quite high.
I really do think Fungal is one of the best ways to finish this army off. +3 and Adrenal are both finished here, but there's no Banelings backing this up, and
wow.
a Blink forward comes forward. One of those Broodlords goes down. Oh, a Colossus Abduct goes down. The Infestors get fed back. The Stalkers are surrounded by Broodlings. They have to get out of there, and it is a good pullback here by Nina, but once again, you've got no energy left. TLO, this is the problem. It's like the fight looks okay, and maybe it is, but I feel like he almost needs to just pull back, get more energy after each one of these fights, and keep doing that, and just really be efficient. Keep abducting Archons and Colossus, keep picking away those valuable units. The moment it gets into a scrappy fight, the energy's all run out, these Vipers and Infestors add nothing to this army.
Yeah, the Nexus will go down. Nina's army is not here to intercept it. It's actually on the map just running through what remains of the Zerg back at home. She's not feeling confident to go back and actually fight this attack head on.
Yeah.
The Viper count's pretty high. The Infestors are starting to get their energy back.
Oh, nicely done with the Ling Run by in the top left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. He's going to hit the natural at the same time. TLO, I love how active he's being with these Zerglings. You know, in a low economy late game, she doesn't get the cancel on the Nexus either, by the way. It's really hard to keep just a few units, a few cannons here or there. They're both low economy. They don't have a lot of money to work with, and just these Ling Run buys are so active, so powerful. Thankfully, though, Shield Battery Overcharge says one Zealot can 1v14 these Zerglings.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The Zealots in the main base of TLO, by the way, have picked off some tech structures. They got the Hydra Den. I believe they got the spawning pool. Now they're working on the Greatest Fire.
If they can get the Neural as well, that'd be really nice. I don't think they will be able to get that. Remember, these are 3-2 Adrenal Zerglings, and Zealot's so good at destroying Zerglings all game long. You get that Adrenal Gland upgrade, and it's just, it's a different level of damage coming out of those Zerglings. The moment they're able to stand and fight, they destroy anything. If you don't have splash damage in your army, like Zerglings just destroy all units, and setting up for another deny on the top left. And he's going to get another cancel on this. Nina's getting starved out. TLO's established that whole bottom right corner. He's got that triangle of bases set up. And I think TLO finally realizes, hey, I can take a breath here. Look, we're going to have to use Neural Parasite. We're going to take a really careful final engagement. But I think the pivot into Infestors is exactly what he needed.
And Neural is about to finish. The Zealots did not get to grab that Infestation Pit, and this is a big deal. Now TLO's got these borrowed Infestors, and while they can't spam everything from underground anymore, they can Neural from underground, so that is deadly.
Here we go. Broodlord's going to siege the main base. Bit of an ambitious one. Yeah, just going to take out the Stargate, kill a few pylons, I guess. Oh man, these Zergling run-bys! So powerful! Goodbye, High Templar.
Yeah.
Oh, look at TLO's expansion in the bottom, man. Look at that.
Get out of here.
What a Chad. Oh, TLO here. I mean, he's working it. I think he's just realizing that, like, he just look against a lot of players. They will botch these engagements. They'll headbutt with the Stalkers, but Nina's been so careful at engaging, disengaging, engaging, disengaging. TLO, every time looks like he's done okay in a fight, it's the overextension and him getting cleared up in the next wave, and then he loses the pieces. So he's playing this a lot more like we used to see very defensive Protoss players play. He's just getting all the pieces together, right? So many Infestors building, adding the Vipers, getting all these different things, and he's just chipping away with the backstab, and anytime he loses a bunch of units in a fight, he's pulling back and he's just reconsolidating and trying to rebuild that unkillable army. I really like this change of focus from TLO. He's going to lose his tech. He's going to answer by sniping a lot of Nina's tech. She's trying to clean it up with DTs, but I think with the whole bottom corner established for TLO, he does not need to control his main base anymore. It's okay to give up this ground.
Yeah. Oh, Nina nearly loses a High Templar there to that +3 attack Queen. Luckily, she keeps it up. That High Templar, I mean, every unit here is very, very important. This is such a weird game. Catches that DT, does TLO with that Overseer, joining in with those Lings.
So what have we got? 10 Broods, 6 Infestors, 2 Vipers, 7 Hydras, 28 Zerglings. Now, there's not a lot of... Whoa! That's not me, is it?
No,
Rocklets.
Rocklets.
Oh, no. Poor Rocklets. So that's there is actually a condition, depending on what system you're using. Some computers do actually get awesomeness overload, and I think this series is in fact causing that. Of course, Nina, the destroyer of brackets, the destroyer of schedules, is just, you know, this is her hanging on by the skin of her teeth. I feel like she's in that cliffhanger scene. The glove slips off, but then she just like jumps up and grabs on with a different hand. Over and over again.
A third hand comes out somehow from underneath the jacket, and then like an extra buckle appears where the first buckle breaks, and then just
it keeps repeating over. Again, and it's like it's a constant like 45 minutes of okay, you're just not gonna fall, are you? Like everyone's frustrated. Everyone's like, what? The suspense is over. By the way, I have an Archon selected randomly. 53 kills, 22 on another, 36 on another. Okay, nice. A lot of those are broodlings, of course. Lots of stalkers, 7, 8, 9 kills as well. This is an elite veteran force. Hey, neural parasite goes down. What happens when you recall a neural Archon? I guess that it just goes home, becomes your own. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I guess so. Just breaks the spell somehow. Just rips that thing out of the Archon's head.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's. I mean, that's just great that you can survive a neural parasite. It's like literally you've just had open brain surgery and you're like, no, back to fighting. It's cool.
Whenever I see neural parasite, I like to think about the logistics of neuraling a battlecruiser, which is a spaceship that has like thousands of people on it. It's essentially a flying city, and then tactical jumps away, and then it's like, okay, whatever got neuraled on this spaceship is now broken. So,
well, shout out to my most recent balance video YouTube commenter who said if you actually wanted this game to be good, you would make Blizzard, you would make it so Neuroparasite doesn't work on, and they like listed out all of like the armored units and stuff. They're like, how can you get a tentacle inside a spaceship? It makes no sense. And I was like, really? And this guy was like angry at me for some reason, which I mean is YouTube comments in a nutshell, right?
I mean, they're already angry before they type anything. For sure.
Yeah, it's a cesspool. It's great. Oh man, it's all about the Fungaloo. Fungaloo! Oh, the Vipers get over eager.
Some of the High Templar did get changed bungles. Some of the High Templar are going down.
Banes get in on the High Templar. I mean, TLO there, he eats a couple of feedbacks to the face, but I think it's enough, there's only one High Templar. It's the same High Templar. Oh, there's two actually, but one of them's going to go down to the breeds. Only one High Templar, 2 storms left. It's that same High Templar that almost died to the Queen earlier. It does storm nothing on the left-hand side. That means only one storm left. I mean, Nina has been hanging on, fighting the scrappiest game of all time. I honestly feel at this point she has depleted TLO's motivation. She said, hey, this is how hard it is to kill me. Haha! What do you think about that, buddy? I mean, TLO's working so hard, and it looks like he is about to seal the deal. Spellcast is out of energy. The last blink forward of the Stalkers. They're going to take out one. Can they get a second Broodlord? The mass transfuse says no.
Yeah, the Queens say get out of here. And there's the GG. TLO ties it up 1 apiece. And that is unfortunately confirming something for all, I guess, people that like my commentaries, that I don't think I'll be able to do this whole broadcast.
Yep.
And my excuses before everyone rees at me is that I feel like garbage. That's the first one. Normally I would power through, but I have a Lima League tonight and like 4 or 5 more casts this week, as well as streams during the regular day. So I'm going to try and I will just host you after this series, I think.
No worries, mate. And we would always rather have rested Maynard, who isn't feeling like shit the whole time, and can put that passion that we love you for so much into that Olimore League tonight. Of course, that's going to be over on twitch.tv/Maynard, starting in about, I believe, 7 hours is the start time.
Yep, and I got a bunch of those ESL videos that you had at the ANZ Champs.
Oh, hells yeah.
Yeah, I got to work on a few more of those.
Oh, okay. Got a lot to do. Yeah, guys, Maynard has been teaching us how to StarCraft and how to micro and all sorts of cool things. It's been a lot of fun. Did you know that a few drones and Zerglings beats an immortal in a battle? Lots of cool kind of tips. I actually really enjoyed those videos. It was very nice. I forgot that you'd said you were making those. So when it came on, when I was casting the on Friday, I was like, ah! I just started like giggling with joy seeing my man on screen.
It was good to be there in some way.
Yeah.
Goddamn quarantine.
Yeah, damn.
Goddamn quarantine.
Say what?
You said goddamn quarantine.
Yeah. Apparently, might go on for a bit longer with Victoria having its little mini resurgence of spread at the moment. We're like, god damn it wasn't spreading for ages. Victoria, what the hell, guys? Melbourne letting us down as always. Everyone just had to go hang out in their cafes and pour coffee on each other and spread disease. But better be safe than sorry. Of course, lots of vulnerable people out there want to take care of everybody. So, guys, this is 1-1. What an insane series. It's Pillars of Gold for map 3. The great thing about Nina is she's such a god, but she's... You know, she actually did a different build that game. She went for the proxy gate. It was not an all-in. It was going to be just like adepts coming in pairs, really annoyingly, while oracles were being annoying. That's about as spicy as Nina's going to get. Like, she's always going to just try to take a third, try to take a fourth, and it's just varying levels and types of harassment. She's almost always going to go Stargate. I think, honestly, Infestors are the secret sauce. If TLO, he's shown an ability to get ahead. He's shown an ability to get Broodlords. I think it's just, he's got to have Infestors added into that army, and he's got to be very defensive and patient with that Broodlord army. If he can do that, I think he'll be able to close out this series. In the bottom left, in the red, it's Team Liquid's Dario van der Vunch TLO.
This is a Meisterschaft champion of yesteryear. And in the top right here, this is Nina from Exxon. Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. We've seen some great games so far. Nice early pylon scouts out. Nina's going to come across, get to the natural. She's going to go, that's a hatchery. She's going to turn around and go home. She gives zero respect or Fs about what the Zerg does next. All she wants to do, check there's a hatch first and go home. And that's what she almost always does. Let's see. She's going to go, oh yeah, you got a hatchery? Cool. All right. I'm going to go, you know, I'll scout you again 4 minutes from now. This is how Nina plays PvZ. And what's impressive is she's so tight with her openings. And even when you do an all-in that should beat her, it's so hard to finish her off.
Well, Nina is just going to be able to go next to see before that cyber core. Everything is hunky-dory from the Zerg. Nothing to be afraid of. It's interesting that, you know, both these players seem to be happy to play that super late game. There's not really been any super early aggression except for game 2 kind of with TLO, that Ling Bane attack that you were mentioning, the dark attack.
Yeah. It's a wild one. It didn't really work out. Nina's so solid with her micro. I talk about how sometimes she leaves her units out in the open at the third when she first takes it, but the moment she like puts down the pylon, the shield battery, she's very safe with positioning her units. And yep, shout out to chat there, just talking about you know, having a jet after this one. You know, Maynard knows the secret to success is to get a good rest. Indeed. You gotta hit with that sleep from all sides. Make sure you are well rested to put in a good performance. And I'm so excited. I can barely even talk anymore.
Yeah, man. Don't have super greasy meals unless your body's ready for it. My PSA to everyone out there. But yeah. Well, we have got just a depth here from Nina, and usually to plug the hole is your second gateway.
She delays warp gate, playing the mind game there. So the Overlord sees the delayed warp gate, assumes Stargate. Remember I said she goes Stargate almost every game? That she's super predictable? I love when a player proves me wrong. You know, I'm not here going, wow, Nina's super predictable and does the same thing every game. She never really throws a curveball. I'm very happy she's going for this change-up. I think it's going to be a Glaive Adept opening. And, you know, she's added a lot of depth to her play, it seems. She's mixing it up. A proxy gate attempt in the previous game. Here now, she's actually even going to go across with this Adept, but she did wait for the second Adept to be ready. And as always, that cornerstone in Nina's play, do not let the Zerg scout. Always keeping the wall rock solid. Does not want to let any Zerglings in. I like, though, that TLO, knowing this, adjusted. Didn't build any early Zerglings. Straight to 8 Zerglings only now as Link Speed's finishing, as the Adept's here. And that's going to push Nina's vision back on this map.
Yeah, she shades forward with that Adept there and just leaving it to make sure that the third is getting up, which she does see. And it is going to be Glaives, Pig. Good call.
I think that Adept's going to go down as well. Unless she micros this brilliantly. Oh, actually dodges the
luckiest
Zerglings.
Adept that ever lived.
Yeah, she kind of just went off to the side. TLO obviously just with an A move, hoping to catch her. Didn't quite get it. More Adepts on the way. That Glaives is going. Third gateway in the main. No Robo just yet. We're going old school. Nina, she's like, I haven't done a Glaive Adept build since 2016. People told me it's good, so I decided to just try this.
Like, this is how you do it, right?
Yeah, this is old school. She's just going to shade across like 6-7 Adepts. So I expect a quick third behind it. And a Robo, yeah, goes down now. So, I mean, if you delay the Robo anymore, it's so late. But I think this is good. I'm a little worried about that Robo positioning. It's going to be super hard to get in and out of her base. And that makes it a bit awkward for the rally. But, you know what? It should be okay. Oh, the pylon low ground warp in. I love that. So cheeky.
Oh, yeah. You don't see it every day.
6 adepts coming across this map. Roach Warren's really late. TLO, I told you, you know, you can just play blind against her. He was really assuming this was Stargate. 6 queens around. He's having to build more Zerglings against Glaive Adepts. Now, keep in mind, it's only 6. It's not a crazy count, and she's not reinforcing. So TLO's getting a little bit lucky on this. If she brought in another 3 or 4 and then another 3 or 4 after that, this would be super awkward for TLO. As it is, she just needs to not overcommit.
Oh, it's a big commitment there into the natural. The Lings are kind of already there. 3 queens already there. The drone's being pulled. A lot of it is about to die.
Good hold. Only 5 drones. That's not enough. So she gives up the pressure, and that's really a Hail Mary there for TLO, who was definitely slow to the Roach Warren, but now Roach speed starts. He can drone back up, get into that Roach production. He's got this great queen count, which means, of course, good creep spread. And for me, this looks like a setup for Infestation Pit, Swarm Hosts. I expect us to see creep spread being a big focus, Swarm Host to come out, and just kind of see the old school. Probably will add a Nidus Worm, but I mean, even just running across the map. If you get enough creep going with this number of queens, you can do it. It's actually going to be a Spire. It had to be something cheeky with the tech. And it's going to be the Spire. Okay, maybe just play really aggressive wave of muters. Obviously, knowing your opponent didn't open Stargate, going to try and take advantage of that.
Yes, indeed. Feels like a little bit of mind games, and specifically Game 3's had a little bit of mind games there. Nina thankfully didn't do the regular Adept Printer build, or it would have been toast TLO. She's got a lot of probes stuck in the natural at the moment. They're trying to get through like the Immortal there. What's happening with these probes?
Yeah, I guess they weren't rallied to the mineral patch. And the Zergling comes in at the same time. He's like, oh, I'll come in, guys. Zergling doesn't really see too much. Worker count's quite fine here for Nina, but it's the lack of scouting. Here we go. Yeah, these hallucinations, very important. Now, Nina is usually so good at microing her hallucinations around, and I really need her to do that, because she can spot this Spire just before it finishes, or just as it finishes. She should be okay. And she is one of the best players at just dealing with it with, like, Blink Stalkers. But I think she'll probably want to go with Stargate, because TLO's the kind of guy who may just go Skytoss, and uh-oh, she's not microing it.
Oh, there we go. Sees the Spire. All right, Nina does the confirmation there. The Adepts over at the 3rd base have been deflected, though. So
she has not started a cannon just yet. Big supply block. 5 pylons go down there for Nina.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
She saw the Spire, but did she see the Spire? I think maybe she's just trying to cut it fine, but she's sending so many hallucinations out. I think she really wants to see muters on the map before she commits to any response. I think she's saying, you know what, I don't think you're going to build muters. I think you're just, you know, it got spotted. She sees it. 2 Stargates go down immediately, but she also sees the Evo in the back of the natural, and that tells her, maybe not mass commitment. She'll get the Stargates for safety, but I don't think she'll commit to more than 4 Phoenix.
The pylon seems to be blocking one of her assimilators there, so she takes out that pylon and repositions it elsewhere. That means no shield battery here, but of course the muters aren't going for that base at the moment. They're going for the natural, which has no shield battery anyway. So some probes are definitely going to go down.
Yeah, I'm watching on Nina's camera right now. She's looking a little bit frantic. She just was not ready for this. She kind of tried to cut a corner. The supply block, I think, really throwed her rhythm off.
This always happens. A supply block is just something you don't see as much at the highest level of StarCraft, but every time your rhythm's thrown off, like these players are running by muscle memory 99% of the time, it feels like, so having your rhythm messed with is very, very bad.
This is a flawless opening for TLO so far. Oh, really wanting that pylon.
Wow.
Not worth it to lose a muter. You want to keep 5 muters up. That's enough to one-shot probes, but well microed, pulls back the low hit point 1. TLO's on 4 bases, 68 drones, +1 melee. He's got muters out. He has an absolute horde of Ravagers. I think he's got to be aggressive with this army. With that much Roaches being committed, I think he kind of has to go with Lingbane Ravager here, and it looks like he's going to do it. With this amount of Ravagers, you can just snipe the gateway wall on the 3rd and just come in from multiple ramps. There's such a big open area between the natural and the 3rd base. I think that's got to be one of the big avenues that he wants to take advantage of.
I'm a little worried for Nina here, man. This attack from TLO is looking deadly. It's going to have a bunch of Banelings. They don't... Well, actually, they do have Baneling speed, but they don't have any attack upgrades, so it's not as deadly.
Muta's going to sack themselves. Phoenix getting on top of them, so not really causing a distraction and not able to set off the Immortal barriers. There's only 3 Immortals here, though. High Templar are morphing in, but look at that. Big spready comes in. It's an ambush.
Nice force field from Nina, but TLO still more banelings where that came from. God,
it's
my
too much.
brain isn't working. Yeah,
there's
this is just
so
too much
many Ravagers. I mean, there's just no damage left. Only one Immortal, a handful of Stalkers, a couple of Zealots. There's too many Phoenix that got built here for just 5 or 6 Mutas. And the Roach Ravager count, I mean, this is a great defensive position. I love the micro from Nina using these choke points, the cannon. If she had a DT Shrine, it would be so sick to warp in a single Dark Templar. If she holds on with only... No, she's dead. There's too many units coming in. Even if she survives, he's got 4 bases. He's got a 5th base, in fact, up. And,
And it's not like there's a Zealot run by happening on the other side of the map. This is all happening in Nina's base. And the Zerg is being untouched. He's even squeezing out a couple more drones here. He's like, just to exacerbate the lead, just in case he gets cleaned up, which doesn't look likely. Still,
one of the most exceptional performances, honestly, that I've seen from Nina in recent months. I think TLO here, we normally think of him as like a scrappy, crazy guy, but he's just the more technical player here in terms of his build choice and how he looked for advantages. The first 10 minutes was always an advantage for TLO. The late game control, positioning, and micro, definitely a bit higher level for Nina, but you got to get to that point. And she kept getting there behind and working her way back into a really close, hard-fought game. But here, TLO just way too far ahead off these openings. A lovely Spire. And Nina both getting supply blocked, unfortunately, at a very bad time, and not quite respecting the Mutatech, thinking TLO was faking it. And you know what? He actually was committing. She tried to call the bluff and got destroyed.
TLO dancing the roaches, saying, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I've won the game.
I bet he has some choice words about Protoss after this map. I honestly, I think that's why he's making the Ravages. Obviously, Nina is a very emotional player. Oh, he's dancing as well. Holy shit.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, she's staying in the game when she's kind of out. I don't think there's any real harm in dancing at that point. But yeah, I think he had to work for that. And all props to Nina there for some of the most epic anti-Broodlord PVT from behind, or PVZ, I should say. Sick play by Nina. And, the APM, by the way, if you got that performance screen open, is hilarious. It's almost upside down.
Oh wow, you're right. It's gonna show you guys here the the APM difference. My God.
Of course, TLO using a lot of optimized shortcuts and things kind of artificially boost that, especially when you're holding down a lot of Zerglings and that sort of thing, which he was doing a lot. But GG, well played. Hats off to Nina for fighting hard. TLO goes on to the next stage where he will face Cham in a Zerg versus Zerg semi-final.